John DeMartini. This is one of the most amazing and inspiring shows that you can listen into. If you want to be on the edge of your seats, if you want to open up your heart, if you want to expand your mind, and you want to meet incredible people, stay tuned, because you're just about to experience a transformative radio show that will change your life. And you're listening to the Dr. Pat Show that's coming up right next.
Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. Talk radio to thrive by. Powerful, inspiring, and coming to you live, bringing you stories of people like you and me, busting through and living life full out. Get ready to dare to wonder what your life would be like if you knew you could not fail.
Hey, everybody, I want to welcome you. We got a great show lined up for you today. Fasten your seatbelts on this. You know, if I go back in the day, this would have been one of those crust-busting shows. Remember, y'all, back 23 years ago, that was the name of the show that I did. And to this day, it is still quite popular. Actually, we're going to be bringing it back. But today, if you think about this, I want to introduce you to one of our brand new, amazing hosts who's joining us here today. Today's show is called Kaleidoscope for Becoming with Celeste, Emelia. So I give that little Mediterranean twist to that. Mattingly, joining me here today because what we're doing is we're going to welcome you to this world, the world of celestial empowerment. Now, I want you to hold on to that because we're not just going to talk about it, but what Celeste's going to do is she's going to walk you through how it starts, what happens when you put things down on paper. Fabulous book. When we think about Kaleidoscope for Becoming, we think about being better, we think about being brighter, and most importantly, being on purpose, whatever that means to you. Beyond all of that today, we're going to take a look at how do we create an energetic shift? How did Celeste do this? What are the many tools that she's brought to the forefront? How do they emerge? And now let's take a minute to understand why. Here's the why. If you are a licensed clinical social worker, 40 years of experience in personal, professional recovery settings, and opening a private practice in 1999, over 2,000 adults navigating those waters, bringing people from the bowels of bottomness to a world of hope. How should we say it? A kaleidoscope of possibilities. This is what she does. Her trademark theory, celestial psychology. Hello, can't wait to talk about that. That's probably going to have to be another show. But this is how you come together. You live in the world, you're of service, but you're also innovative. You're also creative. And if you're who Celeste is, you're also understanding the celestial, the arena of empowerment that goes beyond what we put our feet on the earth, on the planet. We go to the place where we were generally designed from and designed for. Today's show, get ready for all of this and more, because this is just the beginning. It's an introduction into somebody you're going to hear a lot from. Celeste, great to have you. Yahoo!
Right. That was quite an introduction. So much about me. Like, whoa. Well, here I am, Celeste Emelia.
Yeah.
Mediterranean twist on my middle name. Okay.
I bet you never heard that before.
But it's cute. I like it.
Yeah.
I really like your crust-busting metaphor or analogy. I think that's
the brand that showed up.
Yeah.
Look, we're going to talk about this because we want to talk about this wonderful world full of empowerment. That showed up when I was at one of the lowest points of my life. And I was supposed to be on a pathway that was going to take me to some big consulting firm, and I couldn't get off the couch. And I just woke up one day and said, oh my God, I'm so crusted over. That brand became so popular.
I can see why.
But isn't that what empowerment's about?
That is. It's about raising the ceiling, whether it's glass or crust, right?
I like that.
Good, yeah. But I was so thrilled to get your email from your staff inviting me to be part of the Power of 11 campaign that you gals and folks are producing here, and I just knew that this was something I had to do, and it couldn't have come at a better time for me because I had just completed a 13th octave Lahochi master teacher training. And that teacher training really opened up a whole new world for me, where I realized that all these 40 years of gathering all this information and helping all these people, which you so articulately expounded on for me already, I just knew that I had to put it all together and bring it out to the world, and so I was determined, though, to make the best of being on your podcast. And so I buckled down and I finished the book that I had really started writing in 2012. It was supposed to be a sequel to the two initial books I wrote on celestial psychology, and then they just got put on the back burner. But boy, I'll tell you, finishing the teacher training and then getting a message from you and signing up and saying yes, saying yes is really how we do this,
Yeah.
how we bust the crust by saying yes.
It's so important to talk about that now, though,
Yeah, yeah.
because I just finished a show today with John Murphy, and boy, was he talking about some lessons I've learned recently. But one of the things I love about this, and I'd love for you to talk about this, is that part of all of this, and I love that you're finishing. This is a 9-year, right? So we're all having to finish things.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's not just finishing them, it's moving through the stage of things. For
Oh,
example,
that's
the
deep.
end
Yeah,
game isn't the book. It's
that's
the
right.
body of work you're doing. And you did
That's
say
right.
yes to the show. So
Yes,
let's take a minute
yes.
and talk about the many hats you wear and the fact that this is now a new hat for you. And now here you are. You're going to be bringing a message in each show. I would love for you to talk about how this creates this beautiful web, a tapestry
Oh.
that reflects your life's work to bring you this message for the listeners. What would you like the listeners to experience?
Well, I want listeners to know that authenticity and creativity and stepping into a new life are possibilities, and that, if I can do it, anyone can do it. I want people to know that I struggled in my early years. My 20s and 30s were very damaged. I had a lot of experiences that were positive, and I write about those in the book. I talk about milestones on my journey of recovery from alcohol and drugs, and my journey into spirituality. And so I just want everyone to know that it's possible that our dreams can come true, and that when old timers in AA used to say to me, "Hang on to your seat, kid, because you're in for the ride of your life. This is an adventure." And I would go, "Oh, really? You don't know what an adventure is." So sassy. And now I'm like, yeah, they were right. This is bigger than I could ever have imagined. So
Yeah.
I'm really thrilled. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that you brought that up because you're right. I mean, you and I go back and we got old timers that have said things like that to us. And I had a reflection recently on the fact that they were right. And there were some things, though, we had to do along the way. There were some things we had to learn. We
That's
had
right.
to understand more about who we are, what we're doing, why we're doing it. But there's something else. We had to get our heart and our soul opened
And aligned.
and aligned.
Yep.
And isn't that the body of work you do? Whether you're
Yes.
working with the client or what the book or coaching you do, events you do, all of that. Isn't
Yep.
alignment critical?
It certainly is. And I have learned over the years that it's not only something that we do physically, like good posture and standing up straight and everything, but it's alignment with our spiritual energetic body. So that is really something that I think that I bring to the table for psychotherapists, that I've been able to I've incorporated it into some of my teacher trainings for psychotherapy, and for individuals who are licensed to get their credentialing upgrade. So I have quite a few workshops. My favorite workshop, though, was the fork bending. And whenever I talk about it, people go, "Fork bending? What? You would think you're Kreskin?" And I go, "No, it's not quite that."
Oh,
But but the fork bending workshop teaches us that we can bring spiritual energy in through our crown with alignment. We line ourselves up and we hold the fork up, and we bring the energy into the fork and we say, "Bend, bend, bend." And then with a few minutes, the metal becomes malleable in our hands. And Dr. Pat, it's the most incredible sensation.
yeah.
And so that's what that awareness led me into really recognizing that tachyon technology is something that's very real. And so that's where I am today, with 2 tachyon chambers and lots of tachyonized products that I carry around and wear and and mail to people. So
Yes, I have them right here.
oh, you
Uh,
do.
I
Okay.
do. But all of this, though, is the innovation, the creation, the whatever you want to call it, the intervention of the divine. And I couldn't agree with you
Oh, I
more. I
love that.
didn't, yeah, I mean, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the intervention of the divine is what got me in the rooms and got me
Mm-hmm.
clean and sober. But
Me
the
too.
intervention of the divine happens to me every minute of every day.
Oh,
And when I can recognize it, and what it led you to, and if you would talk about this, it led you to 3 points,
yes.
which I'd like to go through. And
Okay.
those 3 points are significantly important, right?
Thank you.
Especially
Yes.
the concept of the holy work.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I guess I'll start there. Um, I had the opportunity in my 20s to do what I call holy work, where I went to a 40-day and 40-night Eureka training with a spiritual teacher named Oscar Ichazo from Eureka, Chile. And during that training, we spent the whole day and the whole night, standing on our heads, chanting, doing meditation, visualizations, yoga, Tai Chi. We learned a whole eclectic combination of tools. And I was really impressed. I loved it. And that's all I wanted to do the rest of my life. Of course, then life happens and you don't get to do that. And I really believe that that work and being introduced to it saved me during active addiction, because I was always able to bring myself back and to say, wait a minute, there's another way. I'm going to get there as soon as I stop doing all this other, one of these days I'll get there. And I did. And so, yes, by a divine intervention for sure. And so anyway, I realized that Gurdjieff, another spiritual teacher I follow, calls consciousness raising the work. And I realized that I call it holy work because it's really sacred. It's when we raise our consciousness, we step into the realm of the divine and we access and align ourselves with divinity in order to get better and brighter every day in every way.
So
So,
what's number 2? Because I know, and you know, well, we know, I know to this moment, when I fade off of my spirituality, my holy moment, whatever we want to call it,
mm, mm,
it's just so hard. So
mhm.
as we move through this, what was the second thing? that you want to talk to us about? Oh boy, yeah.
Willingness.
Yeah.
And, in the program, we say honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness are the three keys that we all need to maintain our connection with the divine and to maintain our connection with the higher power and to stay on the path for doing the next right thing, right? And saying no to whatever's tempting us, saying no to the monkey mind. Right?
Yeah, boy. Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, in 1987, I had the good fortune of being introduced to another avenue of holy work. A woman in AA took us all to the woods and we did some meditation, and we found out years later that this was what was called the harmonic convergence. So I'm like, oh my God, I was part of that. I feel really blessed to be one of those willing ones who said yes, even though I didn't know what I was really saying yes to.
Yeah.
And the harmonic convergence was really the first globally synchronized meditation event where people gathered at sacred sites around the world to raise the vibration of humanity. And it really marked the beginning of a massive uptick in human consciousness. And I believe I was drawn into it by my soul's deep longing to answer a call whispered long ago, a call to remember who we are, what we came here for, where we are going, and a call to clear the path to the new earth, to our fifth dimension that we're all talking about now, and to our ascension into the new reality. So I'm really happy to be able to share with you. Ready? My poem for the poetic invocation to the willing ones. Ready?
Let's do it.
Okay. A poetic invocation for the willing ones. We gathered in the woods not knowing why, a circle of seekers beneath the August sky. The stars above hummed an ancient song while earth held its breath, having waited for so long. No temple but trees, no script but the soul. We followed a whisper, not needing a goal. A woman from AA held the space like a key, unlocking remembrance in you and in me. We were not trained, not saints nor sage, but still we turned the evolutionary page. A pulse from the center, the Hunab Ku's fire, called 144,000 to rise from the mire. It wasn't about knowing, it was about being. A vibration of willingness beyond all seeing, chosen not for perfection, but for our yes, for showing up open in humble holiness. Now years have passed, and the moment returns as our kaleidoscope for becoming turns. That forest breathes through these sacred lines as we gather the threads of galactic signs. You are one of the willing ones, the mythic few, who came to help Earth remember what's true, not with dogma or doctrine, but light through thinning skin, a weaver of futures from cosmic realms within. So let this invocation be your violet flame, etched in the Akashic book that bears your name, a tribute to your ascending soul's shining moment, the holy instant when you and the universe lit the lamp of your purposeful and powerful, luminous becoming.
That is special beyond even words. Thank you so much for that.
Oh, thank you.
First of all, this is the beginning. You will be back with many messages.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go to point 3 before we end the show. And before we even do that, would you mind telling people how they can find out more about you, how they can follow this journey with you? Let's do that first.
Okay. My website is www.celestialempowerment.com. And you can sign up for the newsletter on the website. And you can also find my page on Tachyon, where all our listeners today who sign up for or get in touch with me to have a tachyon session, either remotely or in person, can get a 20% discount on their first visit just by mentioning that you were on the show. And also on the in the newsletter or in the announcements, there is a link for you to download my Kaleidoscope for Becoming free ebook. So
Well, this is what I said before. You are somebody that has stepped into this world of empowerment and becoming. And so you are providing a kaleidoscope of ways that people can tap in and also make changes, choose to change, as you said so beautifully in that poem. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
The third one is important in the minutes we have left. The kaleidoscope of becoming.
Yes, I'll show you the book. Here's a picture. Here's the book itself. And if you'll notice in the center is the Hunab Ku. Now, Hunab Ku is the Mayan galactic butterfly symbol for evolution. And throughout the book, I weave in discussions about the evolution and the Mayan galactic butterfly. And in one of my episodes, I hope to have Trudy Woodcock and Miguel Angel Vergara from the Yucatan, who so inspired me to, they were milestones that I wrote about in the introduction, and they will come on and talk to us about how the Mayan and Mesoamerican cultures have really brought us to a point where we can now bring in their ancient wisdom to our modern world. And that's really what I've hoped to accomplish in one of the main features of my book here. So we're answering an ancient and ever-present call whispered through galaxies, encoded in DNA and pulsing in the heart of the noosphere itself, and we'll say yes to evolution's call.
In this journey that you're taking, we are part of this evolutionary, I want to call it energy. In the minutes we have left for the show, what would be your personal message? What would you like to share with us now?
Well, I want to say, I'll read to you what I wrote on page 28, okay?
Perfect.
Good. May the cosmic journey you are about to embark upon fill your psyche with shimmering visions of hope for the future and glimpses of humanity's collective becoming, bubbling with infinite possibilities of grace and abundance. May you envision radiant beings from across all universes standing at the crossroads of epochs, reaching out to one another, holding hands across the tides of time. Though extraordinarily different, each being carries a welcoming and loving spark of stardust in their gaze and plants a memory of futures yet to be lived. They, like us, are artists of possibility, spinning cosmic strands of the codes of the evolutionary trajectory with compassion, coherence, and cosmic humor into the living fabric of what comes next as we turn the lens of our evolutionary kaleidoscope.
I want to thank you for
Thank
this.
you.
And I
Thank
want
you
to
for
just
this
take
opportunity.
a couple more minutes here and talk about the vision for the show. And thank you for introducing us, because the show is going to really bring much more exciting, innovative, transformative knowledge, right, that you're going to be sharing. If you could take a few minutes, if you don't mind, and just speak to the audience, because this is exciting for you. Remember, you started out by saying, yes, I said yes. And that's an energy we want to help people with, isn't it? So if you don't mind just talking to that as we move forward, and just to enable people to feel what that means.
Well, it's kind of beyond words. When we say yes to our evolutionary becoming, it gives us purpose, it gives us hope. And Teilhard de Chardin, the philosopher whose really the one who really introduced evolution as a philosophy to humanity, said something to the effect that we have to the future belongs to, well, it's our purpose to inspire the next generation with hope. So that's what I want to do here. That's what my life's purpose is, to make sure that everyone has hope, to fulfill their purpose, and to help humanity move forward. So I want to say to everyone, meet me at the spiral, and together we'll strive for better and better, brighter and brighter, every day in every way, no matter what the appearance, no matter what the challenge. Let us together fill our psyches with energy, light, information, vibration, and frequency.
I love this. Take one moment. Again, let's make sure people know how to connect with you. What is the best way for folks to do that?
Okay. Visit my website, celestialempowerment.com, and sign up for the newsletter, and you'll find a contact page for me, and I will get back to you. And you can go on my Facebook page under Celestial Empowerment. There's a Facebook page for my personal Celeste Mattingly. There's one for Tachyon Chamber. There's one for... It's overwhelming. So I'm here for you, and I thank you for being on with me and listening and being here together.
Thank you so much for saying yes, because thank you for responding to what the world really needs right now, Celeste. Thank you so much for everything.
Thank you, Dr. Pat.
You bet.
I'm so thrilled. Thank you so much.
Me too. I want to thank all of you for tuning us in and turning us on. You know, so many of you have reached out to us and have asked us to really look at what kind of programming, who we're bringing. And of course, you know, our launch on October 31st, you'll see more of it. But Celeste represents your ask, your longing. And this is what gives us an incredible honor to be in service of all of you. We'll see you next time.